Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for the introduction, and I thank ADDA for giving us this opportunity to share our knowledge in the community management from the legal aspect point of view. And yeah, Sudhir, you can give the introduction and we can start.
Yeah, thank you, Karnika and Apartment ADDA for giving this opportunity. So we being, the society, educationists, and we are lawyers, and then we are in this field for more than 8 years, and essentially serving from Mumbai and Maharashtra. And it's really a privilege, and then it's an honor to be here and sharing our knowledge and just making what this community living is all about. I know Karnika said, it presents a lot of convenience. What this convenience or inconvenience, let's look at that, right? And at what cost? And it's a whole, what's the law and surrounding this, okay? I'm sure I will just we will be just speaking more inside of, the community living and what laws are there. And most of what, all that what we present is, in a sense, from Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act, more so. And while I'm saying this, okay, I'm not limited to only Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act, because every state has enacted their own cooperative act, okay, based on the National Cooperative Development Corporation Act of 1962. So every state is obliged or obligated to enact, from that national, act, okay. So in a way, the rules and regulations of what this community living is all about, and it's more or less same, right? With here and there small variations, and wherever we have put it up in our slides, we have adopted from MCS Act. We have made it very clearly it is MCS Act. That may be slightly different, okay, in your respective states, but nevertheless there are rules. It's a game of playing in a community living, and there are rules, and what those rules are all about is what we will be demystifying. Thank you so much, Karnika. Yes, let's go ahead, Uma. Yeah, okay, just a brief introduction about Raga's Consultancy Private Limited. So we are somebody who is in this space of, we are experts in providing accounting, auditing, legal retainership, and education inside of only, cooperative sector. Okay, we have dedicated ourselves, and we are accountants, qualified accountants. We are certified auditors from Maharashtra state government, and we are lawyers. Okay, providing this legal retainership, and we have a passion for teaching, and we are educators, right? That's who we are in a nutshell. And this company is in existence for over 6 years. Okay, before that, Uma Varadhan, she's the founder member. She's been independently, taking care of these activities for more than 4 years before that. So in all, it's like, over 10 years of, expertise that we have inside of this, this education. Yeah.
Yeah, the topic which we will be touching upon is why this session is required for all the members of community living, especially this has been arranged for Pan India, and what is the definition of member, strength of the committee, responsibilities of a member. Always when we play a game, as Sudheendra said, there will be certain responsibility where each and everybody should carry, and the powers, function and duties, and how the charges are levied. And it is a public fund we are using, how it is to be utilized, and how the meetings are to be conducted. There are certain formats, and the structural fire audit of the society building, audit and IT returns from the perspective of government, and redressal of member complaints, which is very, very important, and tips for effective management of cooperative, most common challenges faced by the managing committee. And next we'll be also touching upon the question and answers for the participants. And why this session? Why this session is very important is this is the start of the financial year 21-22, and this is the time where managing committee takes over. The new managing committee takes over, and in our experience, we could see young members, that is the people between 25 to 35, where they have got a job and they have all aspirations to buy a flat or a house in a community living, and they wanted to take over because they would not have experienced this kind of management work, though they are a specialist and expert in their own field. So this is a good takeaway for them. And all are from different walks of life. All are not the same. We come across with not only auditors, we also come across with doctors, we come across with builders, architects, civil engineer, all kind of people we come across when we interact with the management committee. And we are from Maharashtra, but we have tried to cover for Bangalore and Resident Welfare Association Pan India, I think mostly in Delhi also. And this is the state subject. The cooperation is the state subject. Every state has the obligated to enact their own law. But inside of National Cooperative Development Corporation Act 1962, it is bound by all over India, in all the states, it's bound by this particular act. Then when we come to functioning, it's very nicely, it has been put up. It's a democratic way of functioning, like for the people, of the people, and by the people, and one man, one vote. It is completely voluntary. When we buy a house and take the membership, it's a voluntary membership we are taking, and it's autonomy and independent. Like there is nobody who can interfere in your operations. It's within the bylaw which you are going to set for yourselves. And based on the principle of natural justice, of course, there is no because everybody is having an equal share. So there is no person called I'm big or I'm small. And we will also see how it is entirely different from the corporate world. We have one particular point on that also. So this session, hope it will be very useful for all the participants who are here. Now, yeah, so the member definition, we can take over.
Okay, just before that, what's this cooperation is all about? It's just a few words about that. So the cooperation is not just limited to, India or Asia. It's all over the world. It all emanated in sometime in 1850s, 1860s, from Europe. Okay, and in a way, if you really have to see it, was it before 1850? Was this cooperation existing? Yes, it was existing. The best example is something like, joint family. Joint family living, right? So the joint family, all the people used to work for the members themselves, and they used to put in their efforts, and they used to, whatever the outcome used to just, they churn out, used to be shared by all the members. So in a way, the cooperation has been there from the existence of human beings, okay, in the form of community living and social living and stuff like that, right? And more so, okay, here in India, we were also part of the world movement, that cooperative movement. And we also started sometime in 1904, and then with a specific movement that is happening in India. And more so, predominantly the Maharashtra is one of the prominent players, okay, in this whole movement, if you see the history of cooperation movement, okay. And having said that, let's just come back to our cooperation and our cooperative movement, okay. And there are certain the definitions, okay. So it's like every member. So we call in a cooperative society a member of a cooperative society. Member means what? Joining through an application. So it's a free will. Like you have to. If I want to be a member of a particular society, I need to apply for it. Who owns a flat or a unit in the said association? It's like the precondition is that application. It's a voluntary for me, and I should have been the owner of of the unit or a flat. Okay. And there are something like associate member, okay? Relatives admitted by members through written recommendation. That means the member, having become a member, I can appoint associate member, okay? Associate member, in a way, he's a proxy kind of a thing, like who can act on my behalf when I'm not around. Okay, now I'm going abroad for next 2 months, 3 months, then somebody need to be, representing me in my flat, okay, in my society. So then I can just appoint associate member. And associate member is different from joint member. So joint member is who jointly owns the property. It's like, myself and my wife. We both of us are the owners of my flat. So my wife, okay, becomes a joint member. So in a way, the definition is like jointly held, okay. The name does not stand first in the share certificate. It's like the first is my name is there. So I'm the member, and my wife, whose name is also there in the share certificate, she'll become the joint member. And there is something like provisional member or nominee member. So now what happens, okay, if I'm died, okay, in a car accident or something like, natural death, what happens? So I have when I'm living, like I can just nominate somebody, okay? So that nominee, how does he or she comes into being, just, taking a role as a member, as a nominee member, okay? That's called who's the nominee member. That nominee or a nominee member or a provisional member, it may be called in different names, either nominee member or a provisional member in a different states. So he comes into picture only after the demise of the member. So these are predominantly, these are the common names what we have seen going through various cooperative laws. Okay, Karnataka, Delhi, and then Bengal, West Bengal, and then Maharashtra, and National Cooperative Development Corporation Act. So these are the couple of definitions. And there is something specifically we adopted from MCS Act, that is Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act, right? The strength also is there based on number of members. Okay, if number of members are up to 100, the management committee there have got to be 11 members. Okay, 11 members include the chairman, secretary, and the treasurer, and the managing committee members. Right. So now if you see, all of them are in odd numbers. Okay, odd number because the chairman holds that veto power where he can. Okay, when it is a tie. Okay, if there are, for example, 10 people, let's take the first example of 100 member society. 10 members are there, 5 each. Okay, now there is something, voting is there, 5 each. Now the 11th being the chairman, he can just really just choose whether to make this party win or this party win. That's how it is. Like all, that's how it's a phenomenon, something like all negative. All odd numbers that we have. So going above 501, its maximum is 19. Okay. Yes, Uma, go ahead. Next.
Yeah, the composition actually differs from state to state. They have their own bylaw inside of their state act. So this, what we have given the grid is for Maharashtra State Cooperative Act.
Okay, in a way, sorry, Uma. So in a way, why this management committee? It's like all members cannot be participating in day-to-day activities. The way like how democracy also works, like at a state level, assembly level, all at a central level. So we have MLAs. Okay, we choose MLAs, and MLAs in turn choose. Okay, the cabinet minister. In turn choose the chief minister. Chief minister in turn chooses his cabinet ministers, and that's how entire democracy runs. And so as at a national level, like we all choose the MPs of parliaments, and parliament choose the prime minister. Prime minister chooses his cabinet minister, and that's how it runs. Same way, in a mini democracy, like a society, all the members choose their representatives. Those representatives are called management committee members. All the numbers that we have put, like 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, these are the chosen representatives, are elected representatives of the members of that particular society. Yes, Uma, go ahead.
Yeah. Coming to the main portion of the day, responsibility of the members. Okay, though there is a managing committee which is running the whole show, there are certain responsibility for the member as a whole. The first prime responsibility is flats to be kept clean. So in our experience, what we see is the flats inside of that, it's very clean. But when you see outside the flat, they keep all the unwanted stuff. In fact, whenever the movement area is also small, it is very clumsy. So the first thing is keep the flats to be kept clean, both inside and outside, so that you have the other members are not put into trouble. Liable to pay the monthly maintenance dues by the due date. See, this is a non-profit organization. So the basic amount which is collected is used up for the basic needs for running the society. So it is responsibility of each and every member to pay the monthly dues by the due date. In fact, when we address the seminar, we say that it is as equal to your electricity bill, your school fees for your children, your gas bill, and your property tax. So it should be treated in the same way, because there is no fine over there, or there is no deduction of water cut or something of that sort. People take it for granted. So we wish each and every member pay the dues on time. Addition and alteration in the flat to be carried out with the managing committee's permission. Structural changes not permitted at all. Inside the flat, you can make the changes with the permission of the managing committee. Allow examination of the flat by the secretary. Secretary, yes, he has the powers for certain things to be done both inside the flat and outside the flat. So he should be allowed to examine in case there is a request from the management committee. Restriction in storing certain goods which are combustible, which requires a permit from the competent authority. We see there are many buildings that come with shops down and in the car park area, then the flat. Normally this is there in Maharashtra. So what happens is there are people who keep gas agency where cylinders are struck or stacked there. So, but they should be very careful so that there is no fire accidents happening in the society, and they should have the permission from the competent authority, and not to do anything in the flat causing inconvenience, nuisance, annoyance to other members, or carry on practices which is against the general decency or moral of the members. This is very specific. So the flat has to be used, or the unit has to be used only for the purpose they have purchased for. And it's also responsibility if the flat is or the shop is let out for a rental purpose, it is also the responsibility of the owner to take care no immoral activity is taken against the decency of the community. So this is the responsibility of the member. Yeah, Sudhir, you can take up power functions and duties. It's very, very important for today's topic.
Okay, let's just go about now. We just looked at the member. So member ka, roles and the responsibilities and what are there. And now the managing committee. Okay, the managing committee now, those are a set of people who are elected representatives. Their job is, to take care of day-to-day operations of the, the society. One is to consider all matters related to funds. Yeah, they have to, take care of the collecting the maintenance. It's not only spending for the monthly, but they also have to take care in terms of maintaining the building, okay, and the equipment that they have for the society. And for that, they need to just manage the fund. They need to keep, for example, a painting, let us take example. It doesn't happen every month or every year, but it does happen once in 5 years or 6 years or 10 years, okay, based on the condition where it is. In Mumbai, once in 5 years, it has to be done because it's a coastal area, okay? So now, up to 5 years, we need to really keep that money in a specific fund like FD. So that's what we call to consider all matters related to funds. And process nominations, okay, any nominations by the members. And by the way, nominations are free, okay? You can just keep changing the nominations as many number of times that as you want, okay? Like in Maharashtra, first time it is free, next time it is going to be something like 100 rupees for every nomination that you change. That's a different, when it comes to legality. The process various applications. Yes, there will be many applications, many requests coming in from members, okay, for maybe no objection certificate, for applying for passport or anything, address proof and blah, blah, blah. Many things keep coming in. All those, they need to be just managing them. Review recovery. Recovery is very important. I could see somebody asking for what happens, somebody is not making the payment. I mean, if somebody defaults, right? Yeah, this is a part and parcel of the recovery. Okay, how does what's the law, when it comes to recovery of, the defaulted members, right? So make all the papers of the society available. That's the most important because see, this is a community living. Okay, now you are elected representatives, managing committee. Now they have to run the show. Now they are collecting from the members, they are spending the money, they are authorized to spend the money, right? And all the papers related to that collection of money, spending of money, for what and stake, how they are doing it, all those papers need to be kept ready for the scrutiny of the members. Whenever any member walks in, wants to look at it, those papers need to be kept ready at the society. That's their responsibility. To hold general body meetings, very important. Yes, and then conducted the way they are supposed to be conducted. Insure the building and property, very important because they have to just cover through all insurances. Okay, and regulate parking. Parking is a big issue, more so in places like Mumbai, where it's like the requirement is more than the availability. Okay. Then regulate the parking and take membership in federation. Yeah. So now the Cooperative Act also requires every society to take a membership with the federation of that particular area. For example, we live in Navi Mumbai, there is Washi Federation, there is a Panvel Federation. So now the societies in that area need to be taking membership in the federation. And that's the job of a managing committee to make sure that their society is registered. Process tenders. Okay, this is all repairs and maintenance. Tenders also we need to call for, like open tenders or closed tenders. Like it's like making everything transparent. It's like there are no vested interest, right? Everything is, transparent, and everything is in the best interest of the members is what they need to exhibit, and overall maintenance of the society. And here comes the secretary. Okay, secretary, okay, he is the CEO of the society. Okay, the namesake is a secretary, but he is the guy, who actually there on the ground, who takes the calls on the ground, who does everything. Okay, and to issue sales certificates, very important. To inspect flats, as ma'am said, like Uma ma'am said, like, secretary, members have to allow secretary to inspect flat. That's the job of a secretary. To take action on defaulters, yes. Okay, defaulters, like, defaulters who defaults payment of maintenance, to issue notices, agenda, and MOM. If you see it, the total duty and powers of a secretary, he is managing the whole show. Okay, and financial accounting finalization through treasurer, right? So, okay, if he's if he's from accounting background, definitely he can just take a call on that as well. But if he's not, treasurer is from accounting background, yes, both of them. And the most beauty is it's not one person. Okay, now we will just see the difference between a corporate and a cooperative. Like, what's the difference? Okay, audit and filing of returns is very important. Why it need to be audited? Okay, in the way it is, we are dealing, the managing committee is dealing with the public funds, as ma'am said. So all the members are, they're paying the money. No way it is different from any other government agency, right? You're no way less than an MLA or MP. Okay, every managing committee. MLA, MP is also dealing with the public money, and then you, as a managing committee member, also dealing with the, okay? So when it is a public money, then the auditing is compulsory. It is a compulsory in every cooperative act. Auditing by a certified auditor or a chartered accountant is a compulsory. So having done that, you have to file returns, to the registrar, and deal with any NCCs, non-conformities in the audit report. You need to deal with that. You need to close them. You need to give a plan of action and then close them with the support of all managing committee. This is the secretary's whole job. And the chairman and president, it may be called as a president in some states. Some are, some states like in Maharashtra, they're called chairman. So overall control, guidance in respect of management of the affairs of the CHS. CHS we are using predominantly. CHS stands for Cooperative Housing Society. Though we are not limiting to only Cooperative Housing Society, but the context inside of which what we are having is only limited to Cooperative Housing Society. Apartment ADDA, they provide, the technical technology, for running the, Cooperative Housing Society in the form of their software, their expertise, and they are the best in the industry, if you really want to call it as. So now we may be speaking only CHS, but the cooperation, they exist in many other fields, right? Like cooperative banks you have, cooperative credit societies you have, all sorts of mills, and then the cotton mills, sugar mills, all these are set up under Cooperation Act. And the best example I can tell is Amul. Okay, that is Anand Milk Union Limited, which is set up inside of a corporation. Okay, Gujarat, and it is such a big, it's a huge. They supply to whole of India and then abroad, right? But predominantly it is inside of a corporation. Okay, it's set up under. In fact, it is said that 55% of what we use in the kitchen is churned out by cooperatives in India. Everything, starting from jeera, then kali mirch, anything you call it as. More than 55% of what we use, general Indians or anybody, it's all churned out by cooperatives. We are not even aware of it, right? So not just limiting ourselves to CHS, that's the whole world of cooperation. Yes, Moma, next, go ahead.
The main next important topic or what we want to cover is the levy of charges, how it is levied. Once again, in each and every state, there is an act. Instead of that act, every community will be having their own bylaw. So there are some basics which need to be followed. The first one is the service charge, which is equally divided. When I say equally divided, irrespective of the area you are holding. Whether there will be 1 BHK, 2 BHK, or a 3 BHK, or a 4 BHK. Irrespective of the area you're holding, the service charge will be equally divided. Salaries, printing and stationery, traveling, education fund, and federation subscription, common electricity, AGM expenses, audit fee, legal fee. These are the things where it is equally divided. Now, based on the square feet is nothing but sinking fund, repairs and maintenance fund, the taxes and insurance. When you say taxes, it is based on the square feet area. It will obviously will go as per the square feet you are holding. So this particular calculation is from the bylaw of Maharashtra State Cooperative Act. And coming to the levy of charges, the interest is paid maximum of 21%. The other states you will be having inside of your bylaw. Non-occupancy charges is 10% on the service charge. Why this what is this non-occupancy charges? If a person is letting out the flat on rent, then it is called non-occupancy charges. Now there are two conditions. If the flat is closed, he's not using, then the non-occupancy charges is not applicable. If it has been used by his close family members, once again, the non-occupancy charge is not applicable. Parking charge is specific to individual community where AGM and SGM will decide. Water charges is as per the inlets. So this is in a nutshell, the charges are levied. Also, we pondered why the service charges equally and others are based on the square feet. See, even when you're in a 2 BHK or a 3 BHK, the watchman who is going to open the door is going to open the gate, is going to give equal treatment for everybody. If there is a garden over there, even when you hold a 2 BHK or a 3 BHK, the garden services, swimming pool services, all are going to be the same. There is no partiality between whether you hold 1 BHK, 2 BHK, or 4 BHK. So this is what we found out, and the levy of charges is based on this particular condition. Okay. Next, coming to funds and its utilization. It's very, very important. Whatever funds you are collecting, for example, repairs and maintenance, it's always 25.75% on the construction cost. So if you are collecting the fund for repairs and maintenance, it is to be used only for that. Major repair fund, actually after 5 years of the construction, slowly you will be starting getting more of collection. The collection will increase as it goes by. Same way like our health. Okay, like when you grow older, your medical expenses will go up, or your other expenses will go up, like you'll be going to the gym, you'll be taking care of your, you will be learning more things to keep you fit. Your diet will cost you more. Same way, the building as it grows, the health of the building will deteriorate and the major expenses fund will increase. So when you take it for a road repair, say you're collecting 50 lakhs, it should be used only for the road repair, and it should be as per the annual general body meeting approval, because without that approval, they cannot be used. Now, reserve fund. Reserve fund is nothing but the small profit you will be getting, and as per the bylaw, you will be allocating the fund and parking this in the FDs. So this reserve fund is also kept for the future use for the building, and the usage is once again as per the approval from the annual general body meeting. Sinking fund is nothing but it is for the quite huge number of period where the building will start sinking. From day one, you will be depositing a small portion of amount for the use of, once again, a major use. Whether if you see in Mumbai that we have started redevelopment, like full building is getting demolished and they are using the funds. So in that case, these funds will be utilized. Education is fund is once again, it's as per Maharashtra State Cooperative Act, and where it has to be invested. It has to be wisely invested, and each and every bylaw when it comes to Bangalore, that is if you open the Bangalore Karnataka Association Act, it is very clearly given where are the investment to be done. And we have people who will guide you inside the managing committee. Also, there will be many people who are experts in this. So they have to wisely invest so that the money can be used for the benefit of all the members inside of the community. Now, yeah, Sudhir, you can take up a meeting. Do you would like to add anything on the levy of charges and fund utilization, Sudhir?
Just that, the terminology is what we use. The BHK, that what we use may not be, what you call, people may not be aware of what is BHK. So BHK is typically the Maharashtra word. It's like one
Okay.
bed, hall, and then kitchen. What? Okay, one
Okay.
BHK means one bed and then hall and kitchen. Two means two bedrooms
Okay.
and hall and
Okay.
kitchen.
Okay.
So just I mean, now just keep asking. I mean, I can just see some chats, coming up. So if there is something, what we normally use in our day-to-day language, if you just simply throw out something, just ask for it so that we will be, clear about it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The meetings of the society, which is very important, because since it is a committee which is formed and now it is for the societal, community living here, there are some funds are being, collected month on month, and then they have been spent and audited. And there has got to be meetings also, obviously, which is because now ma'am has just said like everything is decided in the annual general body meeting. There is no government agency. No, there is no government officer who will come and then decide about, okay, ye fund is $1, nothing of that sort. It's you guys. I mean, it's all the management committee. Now, with the approval of the annual general body meeting, and they get the powers. Okay, it's like how the entire assembly, okay, the ministers or the MLAs or MPs, they get the power from the people. So now the same with the members also, they give the powers, okay, to the members, okay, to all the members will give powers to the elected members. Now in turn, they have to have these meetings. Okay, there's a formal meeting. It's totally consensus. I mean, through consensus only society can run. The first thing is the first general body meeting. The first general body meeting happens when the society is new, just born, right? And there the first general body meeting has to be conducted. Is one of the meeting. It's something different from annual general body meeting in a way, because the builder also will be there. He will just start. He will nominate. It will not be through the process of total elections, the first general body meeting. This first the managing committee, the first committee jo hai, it will normally elected by the builder, they're co-elected and stuff like that. So that's the first general body meeting. Yes, but that's predominant. Again, that's very important. Okay, the validity of the first general body meeting is like, the first managing committee is 1 year. Within 1 year, they have to conduct elections, and then the annual general body meeting starts. So here in Maharashtra, like, before 30th of September, every society has to complete annual general body meeting. And so as like any other, states like Karnataka, Delhi, or West Bengal, they have their own different, dates before which these annual general body meetings have to be conducted. The name itself says annual, so once in a year this happens. And in addition to annual, there are something, which cannot wait till the next annual general body meeting, in which case the societies can call for a special general body meeting. And there are requirements like, minimum 1/5 of the members should have, requested for that. And, and the call might have been taken more than, by the 3/4 of managing committee members. Then they can just go out, conducting special general body meeting. Now, annual general body meeting, special general body meeting, the difference is, it's like the special general body meeting, it's only the agenda which has been called for which the special general body meeting that can alone be transacted. But annual general body meeting, anything and everything. Monthly managing committee meetings, yes, it's only managing committee. As the name itself says, the duration is once in a month. And in addition to all of this, there can be something emergency managing committee meeting, not necessarily, need not be waiting till month and next month. They can call for emergency. It is akin to something like, special general body meeting. They need not wait for the next month, and then they can call for emergency meeting. So these are different meetings where they really bring in the consensus, okay, to take a decision or to deliberate or to just deal with something that is showing up, okay? Like somebody said, like, defaulters. Okay, now what do we do? So now for that, consensus has to be brought. It's not that, I decide. I'm the secretary, I'm the chairman, I can decide. Okay, I'll just give a complaint, police complaint. I'll do that. No, it can't happen. It has to be consensus. All the members have to sit together, and then they have to really decide, yeah, this is what we are going ahead. And as it says, a democracy, majority wins. Okay. And majority wins, and that's how the chairman also will be there, and he will have a top power. He will just finally decide as to which decision has to be taken and not taken. Go ahead now.
Yeah. The structural and fire audit of the society building, once again, this is adopted by MCS Act. See, as I told you, the health of the building gets deteriorated as the year passes by. So how we have our health checkup, for structure also, there are structural engineers who are appointed on the board of the state. So these people through the municipal architect, it has to be got the structure of the building to be evaluated as to whether it is fine to stay in that society further or not. Once again, when it comes to fire audit, every 6 months, there is a state fire policy complaints which need to be completed for the safety of the members in the community. Audit and IT returns is a very, very important. The financial audit is compulsory at the end of each year within the stipulated time. You managing the funds inside of the rules and regulations of the community, and the same is getting audited is very important. And the audited report should be submitted to the annual general body, to all the members, and any non-conformity to be addressed, and all the papers to be submitted to the registrar, the copy of the financials, audit report, and the audit rectification report. And IT returns is compulsory in all the states, and because it is a separate, it's association of people, right? It is a separate legal entity in the eyes of law, meaning it can be sued and it can sue also. So in this case, IT returns also plays a major role in case of the association of people. Now, very important is redressal of member complaints. Where do the member go if they have a complaint, and vice versa? Either the management committee is having the complaint against the member, or the members having complaint against the managing committee, or within the managing committee there is a problem between the managing committee members. So following the competent authorities who are available for the redressal, and you can very well take the advice from the legal retainers or the advocates on panel, and you can approach them, they will guide you. But you should know who are all the people available for the redressal of the complaint. The first one is the registrar, who comes in the bracket of the association of people or residents community, and the cooperative court or the appellant authority, civil court, municipal corporation. When there is related to structure, it's a municipal corporation. Police, once again, police comes for any unlawful act which is coming there. And there are certain things where the annual general body meeting itself can sort it out, especially the car parking issue. The AGM can only sort it out. There's nobody who can come into your association and can redress that. Next is the federation. If there is anything loophole which is there which need to be addressed, there is certain clarification. The federations are available either through email or through personal meetings, and or through the call. They're very well there to help you. I think we have to pay our yearly fees to get the services done. So next, yeah, Sudhir, you can take off. This is very important. Tips for effective management of cooperatives. And with these tips, I think the participants are going to get the maximum benefit for today, because all this time we have been talking about the rules, regulations, and everything. But the tips is nothing but where they have been waiting for.
All right. So now decision making by the MANCOM is final. Okay. Now, as in any democracy, like for example, we have so many complaints about the government, the state government. Okay. And does that matter? Does it really just matter? It doesn't. Okay. I may have so many complaints about the chief minister or prime minister or any particular minister. That doesn't matter at all. But what matters is the managing committee. Here in this case also, it's like a decision making is always by the managing committee. So if you have a view, if you have an opinion, if you have a suggestion as a member, please give it to the managing committee member, and who are the final people who can make a decision on that, it's a managing committee. That's most important. This is one of the tip I'm saying, or it's a suggestion, or it is the way it is. It's like if you can't just something like be in a position like this is not the way how the society should be run. If you have a suggestion, please give it to the society managing committee and let the managing committee take a call on that. It's not one person that you're giving. You may be giving personally to secretary, but secretary alone will not make a decision. So it is the whole managing committee will take a decision, which is a final, okay, for the given society. It's like the chief minister takes a call. He just came on Sunday night, and then he said from tomorrow lockdown is there. That's it. Entire state is following it. Entire state machinery is just following it. That's the power of the managing committee or the head. Okay, and we have created. Okay, this entire structure is created by us. Okay, there is a constitution. Okay, and which really governs it. And the same way, even for cooperative, there is a cooperative law, which is something like a constitution. So management of association versus corporate office. Yeah, I just want to draw, I mean, we just thought about this, in a way, it's like in the associations or cooperative societies, it's a consensual. It is not a one-man job or one man can take. In a corporate, like if I'm a CFO, okay, as a CFO, I can take any calls related to the financial matters. Okay, I'm accountable and responsible. There's a specialization available in the corporates, but that's not the case in associations or societies. It's a consensual. If there is something, who's a deciding authority or deciding body, it is the managing committee. And overall, it is the supreme is the general body. Somebody was asking in the chat, who is the supreme? Okay, in the is a general body or managing committee. So managing committee gets the powers from general body. Please get that. Okay, general body is created because the members have elected. Okay, the representatives. Final, the supreme authority is the general body. General body decides everything and anything. They give powers for the managing committee to function like a managing committee. So, okay, now having actually, when we are acting like a managing committee members, we can make a decision. At the same time, we are not outside of legal risks and liabilities. Okay, because it's like, the authority comes with a responsibility. So we are responsible for making sure that the society is legally compliant and all do's and don'ts are observed properly. Okay, and you are open for any investigation and any stuff like that. So the most important thing is legal risks and liabilities are also comes with this kind of authority that you can exercise as a managing committee. Okay, there are many cases where some fire accident happens. Okay, now the lift accident, there is somebody died in the lift. Okay, the first person who will be asked, I mean, the first few people will be asked by the government authorities are the managing committee members. The chairman has to answer. The secretary has to answer. The treasurer has to answer. All managing committee members have to answer. Like what precautions have you taken for maintaining the the integrity of your lift? So now these two people are in the firing range. So now you really just look to see, like, are you on the firing range or are you being responsible that you are answerable to somebody? That's it. That's the difference that you people have to make. And yeah, just be ready. Like you are, you may be asked questions. You are answerable to your committees. I mean, your members, also to the the government officials, government departments. I mean, who have to get the information from you. And the important thing, the tips I can give is outsource as much as possible. And here we come like Apartment ADDA as a technology partner. For all the societies, they are much more than technology partners. They are developing like, the mega giants, like, they are into each and every aspect of the society, if you really see it. And they are redefining what community living is all about. The very instant that we are all together here discussing about this, it's a platform, which is conceived and developed by Apartment ADDA, right? And we are able to speak to you, and then you people are able to speak to us. We are able to share. It's all inside of a technology, and they are the experts, right? So now outsource as much as possible. Okay, I'm sure there are people who are experts in this particular area. Okay, of maybe for accounting requirements or auditing or the legal aspects of it. There are so many lawyers, advocates who are specialized in this, cooperative laws, take this support. And you may be a lawyer, but now do you have that expertise? You may be a chartered accountant. You may be working for a corporate, but are you practicing chartered account? No. Are you well versed in the cooperative law? No. Then the best thing is just outsource. Okay, get an expert who can really just provide that kind of expertise to your society. Have professionals, okay, engaged for doing that particular job is a tip that we can give. Respect your limited time. So we say that since any contribution to the association is a honorary, okay, you don't get paid, okay, and it's like a thankless job that one has to make. But thankless job for whose sake? For your sake, for your community's sake. When you say community, you are a part of the community. So fine, you are ready to just provide that kind of a thing. And if you have a time, good, do it. But we suggest that just outsource as much as possible for your accounting, legal, and then audit requirements and anything in the technology part of it. Like there is a technology where when the software is can run, and do everything, okay, including just conducting virtual meetings and then whatnot. You need not even have a Facebook. I mean, everything is provided in apartment data software. Like it can just virtual markets. It can, I mean, you can just get into any buyer's market, any seller's market. I mean, that provides that is the technology is provided to you. Then outsource it and just take help of that. Choose vendors wisely. This is where I find many things like many cooperative housing societies, they just get into like saving money for the society. Then they take shortcuts, right? And for example, simple to say, somebody asks for the GST, okay? Societies, now the GST for, I mean, if both conditions should be valid, like if the income, of the society is more than 20 lakhs and whose, monthly charges are more than 7,500 rupees, they come under GST rider. Now, what they do, some societies, though, the maintenance charges is 8,000 rupees, they play around in a way that it is less than 7,500 monthly, and they collect through something else. Okay, different bills. Don't do that. Okay, this is shortcut method. Now the government would definitely get to know how much is, if they really get to know, then it would be very tight, the situation the society will be in. And choosing the vendors, like, if you're going for if you, there's a saying, like, if you just give peanuts, you get only monkeys, right? So now be ready to just really take a wise decision. And cheapest option is not always the best. Okay. Now, if something comes at a premium, and then look at that. If the expertise is coming in, just go for it. Okay. And more so, why we are spending? It is for the community living. If you're safe inside a house, you're safe inside the community. You're happy inside your home. You're happy in your life. So now make your living happy and convenient and easy for you, right? Because everything emanates from the home. Your society is your home, right? Cluster of homes. Now make sure that you're choosing your vendors very wisely and avoid financial engineering. So now we use this financial engineering, somebody, like once I become, anybody just, gets into, managing committee, they want to just optimize many things. They want to just cut down short, this thing, that thing, optimize karo, save karo. So now, are you really look at, like, are you compliant? So if you are compliant and if you're optimizing something for good, it's well and good, but it cannot be only optimization. And don't do something like, where the impact is there after 5 years, where you may not be there in the committee, answering those questions. Somebody else will be just at the firing range, and they'll have to know this particular decision was taken, something like 10 years ago, and then this has been continuing. So they don't know. They didn't tell us why and why the decision was taken. So any financial re-engineering, see to it that whether it is compliant, whether it is as per law, whether the respective law suggests this. Okay, take opinion, take advice. Okay, written, and just take and just go ahead and look at the impact of that. Okay, whatever decisions we are taking. And the most important thing is, okay, make simple rules for your society. And very few rules. I've seen the rule book of some societies, they're running into pages. It takes at least 1 week for me as an expert to just go through the rules of the society. And I really, God knows how those are implemented and how they are implemented effectively and efficiently. And I must thank, the Maharashtra Cooperative Housing Society. They have made, okay, the model bylaws where every society need not just break their head, simply adopt those model bylaws, simply just go by the book, right? I'm sure something or the other is available in other states. If not, one can just make that, right? Yes, Uma.
Yeah. And the most common challenges faced by the MANCOM. See, here we saw the tips where Sudhir was explaining to you what are the things which you need to be taking care of. But what are the basic Challenges faced by the managing committee: involvement of personal time on honorary basis. See, certain amount, percentage of your official time and your personal time needs to be put in. Next is technical know-how. See, not all the people in the committee will know how to do it. This is the major, and you have to supplement and complement each other. When you choose the committee, see to it that you have one civil engineer, you have one chartered accountant, you have one lawyer. If it is available, make use of them so that your things will get easier in knowing the knowledge about it. Default in payment of maintenance charges leading to legal actions. There are many people, for some reason or another, they might not be paying the dues. Now, when you take up the legal action, you will end up in going to the court for the hearings. And these are the things, even though you appoint a person, there will be some involvement of yours also. Encroachment by members leading to litigation. There are people who are using the lift area, you're using the common area, and they go, then society is forced to go to the litigation. Shortage of fund, risk of non-maintenance of building and equipment. There are certain places where we say, where people are not ready to raise the monthly contribution, whether they are not able to sufficiently maintain the thing which they are. Swimming pools are closed, gardens are not maintained, lifts are not maintained, tanks are not cleaned. So please see to it that you put a right amount and collect properly so that the day-to-day functioning, the basic function of the society is not hampered. Non-cooperation and unruly behavior by residents. This also is one of the challenge faced by the managing committee, where people purposefully they trouble their certain managing committee people, and these are the normal challenges which is faced by the managing committee is what we can sum up. Yeah, now over to Vishal.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Vishal, you are audible.
Okay, the screen is visible, right?
Yes, Vishal, you can carry on.
Okay, this is Vishal Masugar. I'm the Associate Deployment Manager over here. So we'll get started with the fundamentals of community management and how ADDA can help you in this. So first of all, who is ADDA? So ADDA is the apartment super app. It is must-have tool for every apartment resident. It has every feature that is needed for the happy apartment living. The super app is powered by the most comprehensive SaaS suite for managing residential communities, that is ADDA ERP and the ADDA Gatekeeper. We are leading this segment since 10 plus years. We have 20,500 plus residential complexes globally with the 5 lakhs active users, 20 lakh forum discussions, 95,000 app installs, 46 crore 50 lakh dues managed on ADDA, 3 crore payment gateway transactions, 20 lakh visitors check-in in ADDA. So to build any strong administrative apartment community must have right purpose, people and process in the place. The purpose is to have the safety and security in the apartment, uninterrupted utility facilities, delightful amenities, vibrant culture, and growing property value. Who are the people in the apartment community? They are the owner, tenant, own staff, and the agency staff. The own staff is the domestic staff, and the agency staff are paid by the association. And these are the typical process or the operations happening in the society: housekeeping and security, operation of a common amenities, event organization, compliances, and the continuity. So these are the models. We have models in ADDA that will help you to achieve your purpose to digitally maintain your process or the operations online on ADDA. So on ADDA, we have official platform for society communication, SMS gateway, billing and billing and collection, that is to raise your invoices, maintaining invoices, and collect the payments towards it. Payment gateway, through which members can directly make the payment online using the payment gateway. User profile management, like all the users or the residents profile can be managed online on the ADDA portal. Payment and bank and cash. Under the bank and cash model, you can maintain all your bank related entries like the FDs, bank reconciliation, taxes, all those can be tracked under the bank and cash model. Expense tracker, you can budget your expenses and also maintain all your expenses on the ADDA portal. Notice manager, so to send any important communication, usually the housing society use the notice board. So you can use a digital notice board, that is notice manager, that we have in the ADDA. Utility tracker, under the utility tracker, you can send all your important or you can raise all your utility bills or the gas bills, or the grid or DG bills under the utility tracker model. General ledger, under general ledger, you can see all the trial balances, financial statements, so all the audit related reports or the things you can see or you can get under the general ledger model. Online poll, so to take any important opinion from the members, you can conduct the poll online, and based on that you can take the decision on your any of the things that you want to implement under your society. Admin files, so all the files that you have in your society, like any Excel file, any physical copies, or you can migrate all this data on ADDA. We have separate tool for it, or the model for it, that is called admin files, wherein you can upload the files in ADDA, and you can also share those files with your residents or the committee members. Facility and activity. So we have a module called facility and activity, wherein the member can directly book the facilities or the amenities they have in the society. They don't need to physically visit to the society office and check the availability of that particular facility. Staff manager, under staff manager, you can see, or society can maintain all their staff related data under one place or in a single place, and they can also get the report of it. Help desk tracker. So help desk tracker is basically used for the complaint management. So if you have the help desk team in your society, so they can use this tool. So members don't need to physically walk into the society office. They can directly raise their concerns or their queries or their complaints using the app itself. They can raise the complaints and directly it will go to the admins. Admin will check their concerns or the queries, and accordingly he will monitor and will reply or attend to those queries. Gatekeeper, we have a visitor management tool in ADDA, wherein all the visitors entries can be tracked. That is under the gatekeeper model. Assets and inventory, so society has various kind of assets and inventory in the society. So those assets can, or inventories can also be uploaded in ADDA, and you can also get the details of it. So like where is the asset is kept, when it was bought, and at what cost it was bought, who was the vendor for it. You will get a proper report for it, wherein which management committee can refer to it. Projects and meeting. So management committee can also, like they have any projects that is going under in the society, they can create a project on the on ADDA. And also if they have any meetings that is scheduled, like any AGM they want to conduct, they can directly create those meeting in ADDA itself. And after the meeting, you can also share the minutes of meeting with the members. Notice manager, like you can you can create a notice and you can send any important communication to your members. Online ballot is used for conducting any online elections, like for appointing any new management committee, or for appointing any new designation person like chairman, secretary. You can conduct this poll online, and members can actually vote against their desired candidate, and based on the votes result, management committee can take the decision on the designation or the new, or appointing the new management committee. Parking manager, we have a tool or the module under ADDA, that is parking manager, wherein you can keep all your parking related data at one place. So you will come to know what all parking slots are there, and which parking is allotted to whom, and what all vehicles parked in the society. And we have also have released the two recent releases, that is quarantine tracker and vaccination tracker, keeping the COVID situation in the mind. I'll move on. So why gated communities love ADDA as the housing society, as the best tool for the housing society management. So it's easy handover, like be it the first ever new management committee or the new management committee pass on the user details and the incoming the incoming administrative board that has all the documents and records that they need to continue with the good work. Easy migration. ADDA offers a hassle-free software migration program to anyone looking for the upgrade from their present system. Proven and auditor approved ERP. When it comes to housing society accounting, auditors love ADDA ERP because it's enabling the remote work and entries made in compliance with the tax laws. Easy availability of tax reports and which are easily available in the ADDA, and that is why most of the accountants favored ADDA as a product. User-oriented product. We are leading the community management segment over 10 years now, and ADDA has been most favorable on the adaptable, innovative product in the market. The user friendliness of feature-packed resident app is just another reason why management committee choose ADDA. Users longevity with the strong, constantly evolving the product and the regular enhancements to the product makes it easier for the management committee to stick to one product. Globally trusted. ADDA is a trusted community management platform for 3,500 plus luxury communities across India, Middle East, and Southeast Asia, including the likes of Princess Tower. So we are always improving and innovating our product as per the community market trends and the requirement. We are the first to introduce and release the new features such as a home quarantine tracker and vaccination tracker to help the society to prevent the community spread and manage the things online using this feature. So at last, the builder builds the high rise, but it's you, the management committee members, who makes it rise high. And Team ADDA is proudly powering the visionary management committee members for since a decade. Thank you. Over to you, Kanika.
Thank you, everyone. So we will get into the Q&A section. There's a lot of questions that has come in, so we will take those up. Sunil, thank you so much for being here. So we'll start with the most popular thing that is coming in the Q&A, that is the GST queries. So I've bucketed the questions that have come regarding the GST. Sunil, if you could just throw some light on some of the GST topics. The first topic is the maintenance of each of the unit is below 7,500, but their annual turnover is 20 lakhs plus. In such a case, how is the GST going to work for the apartments?
Yeah, okay. Am I audible?
Yes, Sunil, you're audible.
As per the GST Acts, of course, there are two main rules that should meet. One is the 20 lakh threshold. Yes, you should cross 20 lakh threshold turnover. And then the second one is the 7,500 per month threshold. In case, if your turnover is more than 20 lakh, but you're not passing, you're under the threshold, 7,500, you need not to register under GST Act. In case, both these cases, you're above 20 lakh, but under 7,500. In case if you have a non-member income, if let's assume you're rented out a tower or you're collecting a non-member income, then for sure you have to register a GST Act and you should have a GST number.
Sunil, how can new communities, new associations who haven't yet gotten their GST numbers, how can they proceed to get this?
They will definitely have an auditor, or even they can also talk to us. We also have a accounting service partner. We have expertise who give consultation on these aspects, whether they are liable to register under GST or not. In case if they do not have a clarity on this, they can go ahead and talk to their auditors, or they can talk to ADDA also. We will help you with the consultations.
Okay. Is there anything else regarding line items that falls under GST slabs? Is there anything that our participants should remember? Sunil, are you available? Okay, seems like we have lost Sunil for some time. So while he is getting his connectivity back, we will go to the other questions. So the first bucket of questions that we have is, what is the difference between a welfare association and a society? I think Ms. Uma can take this question.
Uma, are you there?
Ms. Uma, you're on mute, so just unmute.
Yeah, I just unmuted. Thank you. So your question is, what is the difference between association
and the welfare association and the society?
And the society. See, it is all based on under which act they have formed that. So that makes the difference for that.
Could you just elaborate a bit about the about how they will be absolutely sure that if they do it under this particular act, then they are forming a association or a society? If you could just elaborate which acts can make them an association and make them a society.
Yeah, see, normally if you say in Maharashtra, it's Cooperative Housing Society Act for such kind of housing matters. So they come under the purview of Maharashtra State Cooperative Act, and we have registrars who are there for registration under the CHS.
Okay. What about?
When you go to other states, there are registrars for, if you take Bangalore, they come under the Karnataka Association. KAOA. So they have to approach those registrar with the application. They will go and register it there.
Okay, I'll just make it simple. Okay, there isn't any the difference basically. Okay, so now the name is given, like whether it is a welfare association or residence welfare association, it's the name nomenclature given by that particular act. If you are registering under that, prima facie, if you really have to look at it, okay, it is formed to take care of your society. Okay, to deal with the funds that you collect and then they spend for the society, right? The basics of running a society remains the same, right? There may be the names that they're called as. Okay, even in Maharashtra, you have what you call association. There are MCS Act is there, and along with that, there are other two acts are also MOPA and then MAUPA is there, right? Yeah, now if you're registering under that, you would be called as something else. But the main essence is like they're all formed to take care of the society affairs.
Okay. Mr. Sudheendra, I think this is a question that you can take. So a lot of people are eager to understand that if there is a defaulter who is not paying up for a lot of years, like 2 to 3 years continuously, and they are being levied the penalty charge also according to the respective state laws, what is the next step of action when all the initial processes has been taken care of and the defaulter is still not listening and still not paying up? What is the next process to take?
Yeah, next process is to just get a consensus in the committee. Like, yeah, we will be taking up legally, okay, in terms of collecting that particular dues, right? And in fact, in Maharashtra, it requires the AGM to just pass. The resolution has to be passed by the AGM to take legally, okay? Once it is approved, once you have a resolution by the AGM to take up legally, and the legal proceedings, there is something like 154B29, as per the new law, where it specifies the procedure there, okay, what to follow, okay? There is recovery application need to be put up through the registrar, okay? The notice has to be sent to the member, and member has to just respond to it as to on what grounds he is not paying, what is that he's holding on to that he's not paying, right? Whatever the reasons. Before that, I assume, because you said that initial, whatever talkings have been done. The main thing is, as I said it very clearly, it is based on democracy and principles of natural justice. The managing committee has to really sit with that member. What is that? Why you're not paying? So what is that? What is that you're holding on to? You're not happy with the services given by the society, or you have any objection about any maintenance fee that we are levying is more or less? What is that? They need to have that consultation. beyond which, yeah, the legal thing would come in. As I said it, like, they have to follow the law. They have to send the notice, 3 notices. Okay. And after that, the 3 notices are over, then you can be formally applying to the registrar. Okay. Where registrar as a quasi-judicial, okay, he will decide. He will call the member. He will call the society and have understanding as to on what grounds why this payment is not being made. And he will make a decision. He'll give a judgment, okay, and award at the end of the time. Like where he will give, for example, it is in favor of the society, he will give a recovery certificate, okay, in favor of the society. Society has to, now follow that recovery through certificate, recovery note certificate, then they can collect it. Once the recovery note certificate is issued by the registrar will, appoint one recovery officer. Recovery officer would come. He will deal with that member or members who are not making the payment. They will have a consultation with them. They really explain about their powers, right? So now the recovery note has been issued by the registrar. You are compelled, you're obliged, you're obligated to pay this. If in case if you're not making the payment, let me tell you, these are the rules. So as a recovery officer, I have authority, okay, to seal your house, to auction your house, right? And pay the dues to the society, and the balance is there. I can just deposit in your account. Are you ready to do that? Are you willing to go for this? Okay, if the member is ready, then as per the law, these things will happen. If member is not ready, then he will just pay up. And he also, the member, if he has got something, he wants to go on appeal, he can go to the cooperative courts as an appeal. Okay, so the registrar's decision is final as far as at the local level, right? And these are the formalities which will follow. So normally, in our experience, the moment once the society decides or endorses that, yeah, legally you can proceed against that members or set up members, by then itself people will pay up. And the first notice will go. Many people will pay up. Second notice will pay. Rest of the people will pay. Third also will pay. They normally will pay because they know that now society is taking up legally and they have the legal recourse. And they have appointed an advocate or a lawyer who is taking care into it, right? They have no respite. They don't have any. So now, even for them, for example, even if they want to go in an appeal to a cooperative court, the registrar will say, like, pay 50% of the dues here, then go to the appeal. I have no problem. So there is no escape, okay, for any member in terms of not paying. Now, the society, the committees have to really spring into action as to what are the legally what is available to me and what actions I can take, what actions I cannot take. And at the most, they can just consult lawyers like us or, apartment ADDA, who have legal expertise, who can just provide this legal expertise to them. And this is how, now it's basically this awareness. And that's what we said, like, outsourcing is the main thing. People, they get stranded. They sit like, I don't know what to do. Now, these people are not paying. We have been asking them. They are not paying. We don't know what is next. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anything. So this is the kind of a stand many people will take. And there is no respite. And people will just keep utilizing the services of the society, but they don't even get to pay. So there are many legal things are available. Very, very pretty easy, very powerful. And the registrar is the whole and soul, as far as the society, which is registered under the Societies Act is concerned. Yeah.
I want to add one more thing. The managing committee cannot stop any of the services, basic services to the members like water or gas or cleaning of the garbage, just because the member is not paying. It is against the law. So it is very clear they cannot take any action of this sort.
Okay, what it means is, like, these what you call arm twisting, activities cannot be done by the associations. They cannot take the law into their hands. Okay, there is an authority like registrar who will decide that, and you have to follow the procedure, okay, laid down in the law. And once you proceed to follow that, and the what you call response will just come in a jiffy manner. We have seen in just 1 month's time, 2 months' time, we have closed many recovery certificates, so recovery notes. And within the next 2 months, we have even recovered the whole money, which is like something like 8 years, 9 years, 10 years not paying. We have just recovered. And the action is immediate. And it's one of the tips that I really want to say. Thanks, Uma ma'am. Like, society should not take any law into their hands. Okay, they cannot assume that as a committee I can stop supply of water to these people. I can go to the main and then switch off the electricity to them. They cannot do that. Okay, my suggestion is not to do any association, any committee, not to do that, not to take law into their hands, right? Follow the procedure, follow the law which is given there in their respective acts. Yes.
Okay, so I can see that quite a lot of people have their hands raised. So I think I'm going to allow them to talk. Mr. Thomas, yep. I am going to allow you to talk. You can present your question to the panelists. Mr. Thomas, you can talk. Okay, we'll move on to the next person that is there, Mr. Manish. Mr. Manish, I'm going to allow you to talk right now. Mr. Manish, you can talk now.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for a wonderful session here. I really commend the initiative here. We are going to adopt ADDA this month, and we are newcomer here in this family. And
welcome.
Thank you, sir. We come from Gujarat state, and I did post some of my questions here. Do we have any repository of such documents or advisory pertaining to Gujarat law? Because we are facing a lot of issues in terms of rules, member understanding, and so on and so forth. Is there some document with which we can help establish a common understanding between our all members? Would be great help, because this society is about 16, 17 years old. We have just taken over as a management committee 2.5 months back. Unfortunately, our predecessors didn't have any proper handover or any documented proof of our bylaws and all that, which are not available to us. So which is why we were looking for some help coming in through this session.
Yeah, Vishal, would you like to take that call, because they have already registered with ADDA, and what sort of support is it available as a part of the package? Like, once they open the ADDA, are there any rules and regulations have been printed there, have been given, have been provided, so that they can simply read them through and then they can get help from?
I can just ask, do we have a document which you just mentioned, sir, that there's some normal model code of conduct or rule book is available in market? Unfortunately, we do not have such access. Is it possible to share a copy with us here? So that
Manish, I got that. I mean, if the question is for me, okay. I said in reference to Maharashtra, okay, there is a model bylaws which is the Maharashtra government has printed, and then that is there. So I need to really check back what is there for Gujarat. I'm sorry, right now I do not have hands-on answer for that. Does that, Gujarat state has made model bylaws, like in the case of the Maharashtra? I have no idea about that. I need to check back and then come back to you. Uma, you can just leave our number and then email ID to Mr. Manish, and then maybe we will come back to them. Yeah.
Wonderful, thank you. And second question was regarding the GST. Our collection is way below 7,500 per member for maintenance charges, right. But our total collection goes up by beyond 20 lakh rupees. So we were answered that we are not supposed to get into the GST part unless we have no other member income besides the maintenance charges. But we do collect certain amount of transfer charges from members when the flat being sold and the new member comes in, and also in the name of development fees from the new members only. Does it account for the society income?
Yeah, Vishal, you want to go? I mean, I don't know what.
I think Sunil will be the right person.
Sunil. Yeah.
Sir, the transfer of ownership. So you need to understand how you're treating these incomes. If you're treating this as a member income and you're accounting under member account, then it's a mutual concept. You don't have to pay. You don't have to take registration number. If, for example, if the transfer of ownership is not considered as the common income that comes from the member, and you're treating it as a non-member income, then obviously you have to take registration here. So I would suggest that please consult your auditor take more input on this in this regard from him, because you may not only collecting transfer of ownership, you may collect in future the non-member income, renting out your face or stall or other incomes. Then you definitely have to go for a GST registration.
Okay, thank you. But we are not going for any other income whatsoever because we don't have revenues for that. But yeah, your answer is well enough. Good. I'll take it up with the auditors and understand this piece. Thank you.
Yeah, just to make it clear, like, member income and non-member. Okay, Sunil just explained it very well. It's like if you have rented out your, your terrace. Okay, you rented out your terrace for some telecom, players. They have set up their tower. It's a non-member. It is the revenue that what you're getting. Or you have a banquet hall. You're letting out to some outsiders also to use it. You have a huge garden. You are letting it out for some, putting up one, using it as something, some recreation, something like that. And these are non-member. Okay, rest of everything is a member. Okay, for example, transfer fees, it's a member. You're collecting from the member zone. So it's all comes under. What Sunil is saying, like if any one component of non-member income is there, then you have to register, is what he's clarifying it, as I get it. Yeah. So that's what it is now. As far as this is GST, this is Central Act, okay. And okay, what Sunil is clarifying is that, but both these conditions, the 20 lakh or more and about 20 lakhs and 7,500, only then the GST will be applicable. And only, for example, out of 100 members, there are around 10 members whose income, whose maintenance is more than 7,500. Definitely you have to take registration, the society, but the GST will be applicable to only those 10 members only whose maintenance is more than 7,500. Okay. And member and non-member income, he made it very clear. Other than anything, that you are collecting not from the member, from the outsider, that is a non-member income, in which case you have to go in for GST registration.
Okay. I can see Mr. Sachin, you have your hand raised as well, so I'll allow you to talk now. Mr. Sachin, you can talk now. Okay, we'll move on to the next person. That is Mr. Debashish. Mr. Debashish, you can talk now.
Hi, if you're talking to me.
Yes, I see you have your hand raised. Would you like to ask a question to the panelist?
No, I think that's inadvertent. I don't think sort of I intended to. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right. There is one more person who has their hand raised, Mr. Marlin. Mr. Marlin, you can ask your question to the panelist now.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon to everyone. This is Marlin here. I'm the treasurer of Kesia Holiday Cottages in Goa. We have been registered as an association, maintenance association, basically to facilitate some foreign owners, expat owners. Now, under this association, when we have checked with the register, we come under Charitable Trust Act, which is nothing to do with cooperative housing societies. Okay. And this register has no powers at all to help us in a lot of issues we face in the complex. So I would like to know how can we convert this association to a society, cooperative housing society?
Yeah, the conversions are possible, for in which case you need to just close down under which act. There's a Charitable Trust Act that you have registered. You need to close that and just re-register yourself into the respective, Cooperative Housing Societies Act. Now you need to really be clear. What is that you want to do? Now you are saying that this is something like you are running as a, what is it you run for? This association is for what? You provide some, is it something weekend homes or what it is, like you're running like a hotel? What is that? What exactly you run?
No, it's a completely residential complex where we are all, we are about 107 villas, row villas. And we are, as a managing company, maintaining these villas. So everything from the light and the security, the water, everything. But what is happening? Many owners are violating the structural rules, and which we have the register we approach have no action at all. They can do nothing about it. So for that reason, we need to form a cooperative housing society and many members don't want society because then they cannot do all this, violation of FSI.
I really get that, Mr. Malan. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, as the registrar, I mean, he doesn't have any jurisdiction, but he's registered under Trust Act, because the registrar of trust can have jurisdiction in any case. So now I mean, as I hear you say that you want to convert that into a cooperative housing society. Yeah, let's now get to know what is the law in Goa. Okay, for registering it as a cooperative, under Cooperative Act. Okay, Societies Act. In which case you need to just close the trust in a trust, whichever is act you are registered under. You can surrender that registration and then open in. And since then you can function like a cooperative housing society.
Do we have any restriction that number of people should support this resolution, or at least 5 owners can apply for a cooperative society?
Yeah, well, for example, in Karnataka, minimum 7 people are required. In Maharashtra, 10 people are required to start an association. Okay, any 10 members come forward, and then they can, apply to the registrar for registering it as a society. So now in Goa, one need to look at it. What is the minimum number? Maybe 5, maybe 7, maybe 10. So now it may be in the range of that. It's not all. Just answering your question, Marlon. It's not that all people are saying yes to form an association. Any 10 people are coming forward, they can form an association.
But will all come under the Society Act, then, the full complex?
Yes, all. It's not. Okay. It's entire association. I mean, yeah, when all residents will come under the same act. There is no. Okay, unless and the rest of the people, they want to register under something else.
No. It's fine. It's fine. We go. We all have to go as per the new cooperative society we wish to form.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So because we see in Maharashtra, like for example, in a complex there are something like 4-5 buildings. Each building is registered as one society.
Okay.
That's allowed.
I understood. I got that point. But what has happened also, we will get the benefit of electricity, water of the society, coming down as a cooperative society.
Perfect. Yeah, you will. And first of all, as I said, like, the convenience of community living will start existing there.
Yes.
It's like, I mean, everybody just flouting war, what you call, just, flouting the rules, wouldn't work. It's not a community living.
Correct. Right. Thank you very much.
I have one more suggestion, Mr. Marlon. I have one suggestion. So whenever you want to wind up or start a new one, it's better to take majority in your hand so that it doesn't backfire. So take
majority will not come. I'm telling you, because some of them are foreigners, some of them are OCI holders, and some are Indians who don't want to give away that facility of doing what they want with their villas,
Okay.
So that is what the problem we are facing.
Okay. So you approach, anyway, you'll be approaching an advocate for doing this, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So consider this point also so that it goes in a seamless.
Fine. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, we are really running, short of time. We still have a lot of other questions to take. Okay. Regarding all the queries about GST and audits that has come up today in the question, I would request all of you to keep an eye on this particular link that I'm sharing in the chat box. It's called contact.adda.io/webinar. And if you just keep an eye on this page, so we organize, webinars regarding audits and GSTs regularly. So just keep an eye out here. We are intending to organize another session on GST and audits for apartment communities very soon. So keep an eye out there and register for that webinar. So we'll take those questions in that webinar as well. For now, let us just, concentrate for a couple of more questions that is related to management committee functionality. One of the most important question buckets that came in was this, that if a management committee member is not behaving appropriately or is not really discharging their duties properly, not attending meetings, what is the steps that can be taken by the resident members as well as by the other management committee members? I think Ms. Uma can take this question.
Yeah, if any particular management committee member is not behaving properly, how the members, normal members and the managing committee members can take action? This is what the question is, right? The first thing is they have to approach, put up this matter within the committee. That is the first level. As to what is the issue they are facing. The second level is nothing but the annual general body meeting. Actually, in the annual general body meeting, let us make the member against whom we are taking up come and speak what is the real problem he or she is facing. So, when these two bodies are not able to resolve, definitely in the annual general body meeting, it has to get sorted out because it's a supreme where all the major decisions are approved or taken. The next level will be the registrar where they can take it forward. And nevertheless, the annual general body can make the members step down from the managing committee. They have that powers.
Okay, Kanika, I mean, just can I be clear as to what is not working? I mean, is it a behavioral issue or inappropriately? I mean, not appropriately means what? Does he have different influential skills or what? If it is a behavioral, that need to be dealt with the way how ma'am just said it. If it is that's something going beyond the powers, then definitely the managing committee can just take a call. And as ma'am said, like it is the definitely the general body who can just take. I mean, asking them to step down from that capacity would solve all the problems. Actually, yeah.
Okay. Another important question. This is also, I think, Ms. Uma can take it. What is the legal status of the in-house redressal committee? The bylaw doesn't mention about it. In case the member is not heeding the verdict or opinion of the redressal committee, what is the next step?
See, the bylaw is, once again, if you take, I just went through the apartment association, the bylaw is framed by the committee only. So now, whatever the verdict, the internal redressal committee is giving, you are telling the member doesn't want to follow that, is what you are telling?
The question is that the redressal committee, the internal redressal committee, yeah, does that have a legal validation? Okay. And because the bylaw does not mention about this particular redressal committee. And in case a particular person who is residing in the society, they are not listening to the opinions of the redressal committee, then what can be the next steps?
Okay. Kanika, there is an echo. Is there? I don't know.
Yes, it's a Zoom glitch. Unfortunately, that is not in our hands to control. We'll have to talk to Zoom about that.
Okay, as I hear it, is there an internal redressal committee? I mean, I doubt there is nothing like internal redressal committee. See, it doesn't exist. That's what you understand. This is a consensus. Set of people, the members, they're choosing their representatives to behave like managing committee. Inside of that, if you say there is a redressal committee, I have never heard. There is nothing, there is something like redressal, internal redressal committee. There isn't anything. If I have a problem with one member, I need to deal with him. If I have a problem with the managing committee, I need to really make a written complaint, okay, to them. And the managing committee has to come back to us as per Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act within 15 days. If not, then I have a right to just escalate it to the registrar. That's how it goes by. But now the question itself is something internal redressal committee somebody is not happy with, that doesn't exist. There isn't any internal redressal committee.
Probably they must be having in other states. Probably we are not aware. We need to address this first. Whether
which is the state coming in from? So can we who is this person who's asking?
Yes, I'll just let you know. It's not from Bombay. It is from outside of Bombay. That is what I can tell you.
Yes.
Okay, there isn't any internal redressal committee to the best of my knowledge, okay, any other Cooperative Societies Act. Because this is by the people, of the people, and for the people. Let's be clear about it.
Okay. So the questions that I can see, the majority of the questions that we couldn't take today because of shortage of time is majorly related to GSTs. And there's another question that we couldn't take, which was related to election of management committee members as well. So what I would request is all of you who have attended today, naturally you'll be getting a follow-up mail from our end. So you'll have our contact details with you. Just keep a watch, and we are going to organize another webinar soon, because GST, then elections, these are really huge topics and deserve time of their own. Okay, so we'll be keeping in touch with you, all of you, and also others who have not been able to attend today, and organize another session on GST as well as regarding elections very soon. And that's where we will take up these questions. We are keeping a note of that. I hope everybody has taken in the phone numbers that Mr. Uma and Mr. Sudheendra had given, in case you guys need any legal advices from your community management as well. For now, we will close the webinar here. So thank you so much, all of you, for joining. Thank you, the panelists, to everybody. It was a wonderful session, and we will see you again soon in the next webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.